everyone, welcome to School of Scarlet. I am so happy to have you here today. So I want to tell you it's no coincidence that you've clicked on this video here today. So because you've clicked on this video, I have a very specific message for you. This message is all around starting a YouTube channel. So again, it's no coincidence that you clicked on this channel, nor that you've been having the thoughts of what it takes to start a YouTube channel, or any of that, sharing your gift, being seen, all of these things, or even the hesitation to do so. Some of you are holding your gift back. Some of you have created videos and haven't published them. Some of you have written books and haven't even published them or tried to. Some of you have painted beautiful paintings and haven't tried to share it with the world yet. So I'm here to kind of pull that out of you. So stay here with me today. I'm going to be sharing my story with you. I am an average woman from basically Texas. I was going to say East Texas, Southern East Texas, or around that region, but that doesn't really matter. The point of this is that anybody can do this. It's not anybody special that has to do this or can do this. It's not meant for only certain people. So if you have clicked on this video, it's certainly meant for you because it's in your field, meaning it's in your imagination, it's in your focus, it's in your mind. So for that reason, it is meant for you. And most likely it's not meant for someone that doesn't have that in their field. But if that was to enter their field, it would be meant for them. But it is certainly meant for you. So let's get started here. The way that I started my channel was very spontaneous. Now, if you have been with me since the very beginning, you know my story. But if you don't know my story, I started my channel because I had a twin flame journey. And that twin flame journey was a journey that, if you haven't heard of the twin flame, it's like the soulmates, okay? It's basically two people that come together and they're sharing or have the same soul. But anyhow, this is all a story within the illusion. But anyhow, what happens when these souls finally come to union is basically an explosion, a fire. And what happens is in that explosion, that fire, you come to awareness of the truth of reality, because what there is in reality, all there truly is truth. And the truth of reality is that there is nothing and everything at once. But I won't go into that here. I'm here just to kind of share with you how I started this channel. So certain love stories like that twin flame journey that I had are so powerful. Love can be so powerful for a person, for a being, that it sparks a love story. It sparks a book being published. It sparks a movie being written. It starts a channel being started, a discussion being discussed. So that's how powerful love is. So if you ever doubt the power of love, most of what you see in life, like anything that you do even to entertain yourself, like movies, TV, books, poems, whatever, art, all of those things were inspired by unconditional love. And so my channel is inspired by unconditional love. I started my channel because my love story with my twin flame was so strong that it evoked a book called Love, Death, Nothing. And if you are interested in reading that book or checking that book out, it is linked in my description below, so you can check that out. But I wrote a book, and from that book began a very beautiful journey with myself in sharing a message that I find to be very beautiful. So that is how that began. But how did it really be how was the process behind the scenes if we're looking at the technical stuff? Well, let me tell you, I was living in a little house in the middle of nowhere. And when I say nowhere, I'm talking about they do not have internet. They actually didn't even have trash service up until last year. And so I had no internet, no phone service, no TV, no garbage, nothing, just a house in the middle of nowhere, okay? And so in this little house was where this awakening was sparked. And in this awakening, I had my phone. And after I had written my book on my one laptop that was not connected to the internet, I had to go down to the library in town that was about 35 minutes from my house to get onto the internet to upload any parts of my book or edit it or do any of that stuff. I mean, I could edit, if I wasn't off the internet, I was off the internet at home. But anything that required the internet, I would have to drive to the library to do that. So I did that all, from that house. I also was teaching at the time, and I couldn't do my lesson plans or anything from home. I had to go other places to do that. And, this wasn't a town or a place you can go and find, your local Starbucks or something like that. That doesn't exist in these areas. So anyhow, this is all to say that if you think you can't do this, then my friend, you're creating self-sabotaging kind of excuses for yourself, okay? I created this in a location that had no internet. And actually, I meant to get the phone that I created my original videos on. It wasn't an iPhone. It was a cheap little phone from Walmart, a little kind of throwaway phone from Walmart. I had no internet, a throwaway phone about $30, and a library about 30 minutes away. And with that, I wrote 3 books and I started a channel. And it was all sparked out of love, because that's the power of love, okay? And I wrote many other poems and beautiful things. But all of this came from love. And so if you have passion in your heart, whatever that happens to be, in my case, it was my twin flame that sparked a love for myself, for humanity, for all that is, for understanding of reality. But for many of you, I find people that are amazing musicians that have come my way. I find people that have written beautiful poems, therapists, doctors, people that have things around nutrition to share, you know, that maybe they can't share in their workplace. You know, I've had people tell me that they can't share these things in their workplace because they have such strict rules about not deviating from whatever creations they have. See, the thing about working for other companies or people, working for anyone really, is you're really working for them. You're selling their products. So if you don't agree with their products, or if you have something better, why are you still working for them? It's time to break out of this and evolve. See, you have been called here because you have more. You have more to share. You aren't meant to just get a job and work 9 to 5 selling somebody else's products that they have created. You have within you your own products, your own gifts to share with this world. Whether, like I say, that be within arts, you know, with medicine, with health, with whatever, you know. With decorating, there is anything that is in your heart can be shared. And there is a community out there somewhere that is wanting that information, that is wanting to connect, that is wanting to listen. See, what's happening here now with the internet and with YouTube is that this is a big connector. Prior to YouTube, everybody was kind of living, you know, in their own places and things like that. YouTube, and specifically the internet, but even YouTube has connected so many people. A lot of the channels that I watch is mainly just watching how other people live in other parts of the country. I like to watch how other people live their lives, like in Mexico and like rural hills, or, you know, I have certain channels that I watch, and it's really, if I think about what those channels are about, they're just about sharing other people's lives, which is why I have this channel that I created out of the love of wanting to share the wisdom, or it's not even wisdom, it's just the expression of reality. That's where the birth of this came from my twin flame journey. But I truly value and love lifestyle channels. So I do have a lifestyle channel myself. It's the second channel that I created, and it's called Scarlett's Intuitive Life. And in that channel, I simply share things that I do on my daily life. And sometimes it's just my daily chores. Sometimes it's cooking. It's just my daily stuff. But you see, that kind of stuff, y'all, is your legacy. That is what you have to give to the world. Everything that you've learned, everything that you've created, anything that you have to share, a tip, a word of wisdom, something that you learned from your grandmother, don't let those things fall away. Pass them on. And the way that is done nowadays is through YouTube, is through all of these other platforms that allow us to share videos and to share ourselves. As a matter of fact, businesses can't even thrive anymore in the old models. They have to jump on social media, and they have to create YouTube channels and Instagram and all of this stuff, even to sell products now. That's how powerful the internet and YouTube is. So if you're not on the internet, if you're not on YouTube, I would encourage you to get on. Now, I was so far away from the internet and from YouTube and all of that at the time I started my channel. Don't worry about this if you have no technological skills. I had none. I mean, I had, you know, what you learn in, you know, I went to school 20 years ago. I was in high school. So I have that level of technology, and maybe a little bit more, right, from the iPhone and all that. But I was pretty much had kind of severed myself from technology. I had chosen to live a very simple life by choice. And so it's okay to jump into this even if you do not know how to work technology. It's very simple. It's not very difficult. You get yourself something like this, is a little mic. I didn't even use this. I used, like I said, a phone from Walmart propped up on like a book just in front of me. That's all I did. But as you evolve, things like this little microphone are $20 on Amazon. You get yourself a little stand with a little ring light, and that one's $20, and you can get started with that. So that's all you need. And then if you like upgrade, you know, I got this mic and stuff, this $40. It's nothing too crazy. And you keep upgrading and investing in yourself and in your business, and that's how you grow. So don't be fearful to start. Don't be fearful to be seen. Many of you have fears of being seen. You're embarrassed of what other people will think of you, what other people will say. And I'm going to have to tell you something kind of tough. You're going to have to be embarrassed. You're going to have to embarrass yourself. You're going to have to do that. That's part of this process, because you're going to have to go through that. And if you don't embarrass yourself, you're going to be embarrassed. Other people are going to say things about you. Other people are going to comment about you. But does that really matter? You know, it doesn't. It matters what's in your heart. What do you feel about what you're sharing? If you love what you're doing, if you love what you're sharing, that's what matters. What other people say about you, if they were to make fun of you or this or that, has nothing really to do with you sharing this. But you do have to kind of build your stamina and be ready to know that these things are going to come. As soon as we share our light, it's an alchemy. As soon as the light is being shared, the darkness comes. So that's how come we always have these battles when we're sharing our light. And even in like church and stuff, they would say, you know, whenever you're getting attacked really hard like that, it's probably because you're working really hard, you know, sharing the light. And so you're being attacked in the same way with the darkness. But anyhow, don't be fearful of that. It doesn't even work that way. You are always safe. You are always secure. But this whole thing is coming together here now for you to share your message. Everything has kind of conspired in this universe to create the internet, to create the YouTube, to create your phone that films, and all of these now lower cost items like this mic and even the camera and the lights. They're so affordable. Can you imagine $20, you know, for a mic, for lights, for, you know, the phone's not $20, but it's not like it was, you know, years ago. Years ago, you had to get professional lighting. You had to get all of these things. Even to upload a video would have taken you forever. That was another thing to share with you. Without internet, I had to go into town and upload my videos through just my data service on my phone. Or sometimes I would go to McDonald's or somewhere that had Wi-Fi and try to connect that way. But it was certainly not like connecting on 5G internet like I have now. But you see, there was no possibility of getting internet at my home. None when I started this channel. But I didn't care. I started it and I would go to town and I would sit there and wait for hours. Sometimes they wouldn't even upload and I had to go back home. And I'd try again the next day. And sometimes, you know, I'd upload one video per month because it was that hard to do it. And it was lower quality. And you can go back on my videos because I do not believe in taking things down and like doctoring them or saying that you hadn't said this or that. I would like to share the evolution of someone that has gone through this journey because I believe that it is, I believe it's a spiral. I don't believe it's a line. I don't believe it's linear. So that's another thing about sharing your journey. Share your journey. Share the process from the beginning to the end so that people can see that you didn't just pop out being famous or, you know, having all of the equipment together or, you know, looking amazing right away. No, this is an evolution. This is how the first video looked and this is how now we're looking now. And if you look at my first video, it certainly looks very, very different to how I look now, but I haven't evolved as much as you would think in technology or anything like that. I still film with my phone. I have a few little upgrades, but you know, that's the thing. It doesn't take a whole lot. So don't be fearful of starting your channel. Go ahead and do it. And if you have that video filmed already, I'm going to challenge you. Post it. Just post it. The first videos you get out there, you are just going to get out there. They're going to kind of be these cringe videos later on that you're going to look on and be like, ooh, like what in the world? So go ahead and get those out there. Get that out of your system. That way you can start creating more and more that's more aligned and more natural to who you are. Because in the beginning, you're nervous. In the beginning, you still have a bit of fear. So you're not as natural. You're not as authentic because there's still a little bit of fear there, a little fear of being seen. So allow those videos to get out there. Embarrass yourself. One of the biggest tips I give people is to just embarrass themselves. Do something embarrassing. So if you look back at my first video, if not the first 3 or 4 or 5 videos, I did something that I would have never done in my life. I got on camera without makeup and without doing my hair or anything. Of course, I had gone through an awakening. I didn't have any of these, you know, self-consciousness type thing going on, especially at that time. It was very, very pretty much, you know, pretty raw, I would say. You know, it was like that. There was no thought streams and stuff like that, not too much. So anyhow, I made those videos in that state of not wearing makeup, not doing hair, being in my bed, in my pajamas. Yeah, it's not the ideal situation. But what does that do for you? It already takes all those barriers away, all of those things that you could be fearful of someone making fun of or this or that. You've already embarrassed yourself. You've already gone in your most horrible look, I guess you could say. So what more can there be? And if people will accept you like that, then you can go ahead and accept yourself, you know, and especially if you're going to do your hair and makeup, you should have no inhibitions at that point. So I really encourage people to actually embarrass themselves. Go ahead, embarrass yourself, get it over with. Stop worrying about what people are thinking about you. You know, it's not that serious. People aren't really thinking about you that much. And if they do make fun of you, it's really just a chuckle for that time. They don't go on thinking about you. They really don't. I'm sorry to say so, but they don't. And I've counseled so many people. This is the number one thing. So many people are so hyper-focused on what other people are thinking of them. Don't worry about what other people are thinking about you. It's none of their business, and it's none of your business as well. As a matter of fact, they are you. So what does it even matter? Don't worry about what they're thinking. What they're thinking is none of your business. If you can get past these barriers of being seen, of worrying about what other people think, about thinking that you are inferior for some reason because you don't know technology, or you feel unworthy in some sense because of some physical thing, overcome this now. Share your message. You know, don't worry about what other people are going to say. People are going to say something about anything and everything. You could be saying the most perfect message in the world, and someone will have something negative to say about that message. So share it anyway. Be yourself, be authentic, and shine your light. We need light to shine right now. I'd love to see all of your channels up and running. I'd love to see more content on YouTube. That's another thing, is a lot of people think that, you know, why encourage other people on YouTube? You know, why not just promote your own channel? Because the light of other people brings more people to this place too, to my place. All of these people that we want to bring to see the light are us. We're just bringing everyone that is part of us, a fragmented self, a fragmented part of us, back into union. And so what is wrong with that? That's like having a big old party. So let's do this. Let's start our channels. Let's have fun. Let's collaborate. Let's go ahead and comment, like, and share, everybody. Let's really amp up YouTube and whatever platforms y'all are on with positivity, light, and just laughter, y'all. Get on there and laugh. I never really realized how funny YouTube and the shorts and, you know, TikTok and Instagram Reels and all of that is. I had been off social media for the longest time. I actually only got back on social media about a year ago. You know, like things like that. Like I didn't even have TikTok or anything. I never had it up until last month. And so all of these things were really, really funny, and they really boosted, like, you know, I could feel the frequency very, very quickly. And of course, people will say, oh, that's just a dopamine boost. Yeah, you could call it a dopamine boost. A dopamine boost, or, you know, it's boosting your frequency, but it's doing that. It's boosting your frequency. And so it can actually create a little shift for you where you're feeling down to all of a sudden be feeling up and get going. Of course, that, you know, people argue you could be on the wrong algorithm, this or that. Just make sure you're on the right one. Are you feeling good? This is the thing. Gravitate to those things that feel good, and those things that don't feel good, put them away. So you got to just ask yourself, is this making me feel good or bad? So, you know, you discern that within yourself. So I've kind of gone over my journey a little bit loosely here to kind of let you know that, you know, I pretty much had everything that you could say against me. And my channel got monetized. I think it was around December I got monetized. So maybe it was January. December or January it got monetized. And so That was about 2 years after I started the channel, started posting around the non-duality content. And so that took a while, and my channel was very, very slow for the first year. The first year, like I say, I was posting very sporadically, and my content was very low quality, and it was just here and there. But what was I doing? I was speaking from my heart. I was sharing a message. It wasn't about the background. It wasn't about the quality of the video. It wasn't about all of these things. It was about putting myself out there, speaking my heart, and creating that little bit of light, that little beam of light for anyone else that resonated with it to connect. And what happened? People began to connect. And they began to connect very early on. I didn't even hardly have that many followers, and I was already getting these beautiful emails from people all over the world. And that's the beauty of YouTube, is we're not just working with the people in my community. I live in a very small community, and I've been blessed to be able to help my community in many ways. But now with YouTube, we can expand out into a global network. And so even with a few followers, I was getting emails, long emails from beautiful people in India and just all over the world, y'all. So go ahead and start your channel. You may only have like a few followers at first, but you'll have little things trickling in, like those emails and this and that, and you'll see that this is resonating, that your message is not just your message, it's everyone's message. And when you begin to speak that message, that resonance among those beings begins to awaken, and those beings that are meant to connect will arrive, and you will attract your tribe, as you could say, to you. So I really encourage you along this journey to follow your heart, to not be scared, to break through any fears, any barriers that you have. And if you have any questions or anything along your journey of starting your YouTube channel, if there's anything that you still have questions on, or you want to connect or partner or anything like that, my email is in the description and you can connect with me. I am very much available to you, so please do so if you have any questions. I really can't wait to see all y'all's YouTube channels out there and just seeing y'all's light. You don't know how much joy it brings me to watch certain YouTube channels that bring joy to this world. It really does uplift my day. So if you yourself have a YouTube channel and you're spreading the light, thank you so much for doing that. You don't know how great your light is. Thank you so much. I love you all.